everyone, Zip here. Today we're going to take a look at the premium ship, the Mikasa. It's an Imperial Japanese Navy battleship, Tier 2. It's got 4 main guns and 2 turrets, and 14 secondaries, 7 to each side. I highly recommend the historical camo because it gives you a lot of things you're going to need in this ship. In particular, dispersion reduction and torpedo damage reduction are important here. Moving on to equipment, emphasizing the reload speed of the ship, the fire and flood resistance, as well as the overall speed, in my opinion, are the best ways to go. With this particular equipment installed, you can see here over on the right that we managed to get our maximum speed up from the base speed, as well as our reload down to about 17 seconds, which is fantastic. You've got fewer main guns, so getting them to fire more often is huge. For supplies, we want to emphasize the hit points. The ship speed is very important. That 3% gets us up to 19 knots. The base without equipment, without supplies, is 17. And of course we also want to emphasize the reload on the main guns and secondary guns, which are very important on this ship. And of course standard consumables. For the elite ship bonus, I've gone with the elite gun operator, which reduces the reload by another 3%. Jumping into battle here, we're going to have a look at the attributes of the ship and what not to do, as well as what to do. I'm going to start off this battle by just observing how slowly she accelerates. Very slow ship to get up to full speed here. Because of our equipment, because of our supplies, we can squeeze out 19.2 knots. I'm just speeding up the video here just for time's sake, because it's about as exciting as watching paint dry to start the battle. These battles really should be another minute long to compensate for the fact that it usually takes about a minute to get the action rolling in that. Without the historical camo, shots at range are very difficult at best because of the dispersion on the mains, but with the camo it makes it a little bit more workable, and you can pull off shots at range with probably about a 30-40% hit rate. Not too bad. Medium to close distances, the guns of course are very workable and very good. The high explosive on lightly armored targets rolls pretty good, usually about 700 damage, sometimes as high as 900. The AP will usually give you about 900, but only on tougher targets. If you're shooting at lighter skinned ships like destroyers, light cruisers, expect your shells to pass right through and not roll for very high damage at all. The secondaries are great on this ship. Not only are they somewhat accurate, but they usually roll 360 if they get a good hit. Sometimes as low as 154, but 360 is definitely, I'd say, the average. The mains right there were rolling for 350, so not the best there, but the mains usually for high explosive are the best against anything but other battleships, as well as heavy cruisers, which there are not that many down at tier 2 and 3, but certainly the tier 3 battleships should all get AP, and even then you can expect some bounces and rolling for 0, but majority of your shots at medium and close ranges will penetrate fairly easily. Because of the high damage rolls on the high explosives rounds, one of the big strengths of this ship is finishing. She's really great at finishing off targets towards the later portion of the game. In fact, probably one of the best finishers at tier. The Dresden, the German cruiser, is probably a little bit better, but if you're looking for kills to try and earn medals for specific promotions and aliases, then take a look at this ship. It's actually pretty good at getting kills. I often get 4-kill, 5-kill games from this ship. The Mikasa is great at just cleaning house at the end of the game. Firing the secondaries individually as opposed to a salvo really increases their accuracy quite a bit. You don't get any of the as many of the wild shells, so I do try to fire them off. I just simply hold down the fire button like here, and they just kind of roll off and hit well. They were all low damage rolls, but sometimes you get a string of 356, 360. Very nice damage rolls, and then you mix it in with the mains, and you can take down ships very quickly at this tier. When Mikasa is top tier, really there's no reason why you should be losing unless you do what I've done in this match here, which is push way ahead into the red team's territory here towards their cap circle with the intention of capping. With other battleships I tend to do this because I can tank damage, and by tanking damage you're taking shots that the team would otherwise be taking in your place. And when you've got a lot of hit points and a lot of armor, this is one of the things you should be doing to help your team win. Here though, because of the bot heavy team as well as the new players on the team, nobody's going to get back in time or has thought to go and save the our cap zone from being captured. So we lost on points. It's unfortunate. It was a good game up to that point, but that can happen if you push ahead with this ship. It's best to play middle or back until the later game when you know nobody's going to be capping and you just need to go and finish off red ships. This next match is an arena style match, and really the Mikasa is very adept at arena style matches because you can get right in there, stay in a cap circle, tank tons of damage, shrug off torpedoes, HE shells, most AP shells. As top tier, it's no contest. As a low tier ship, as she is in this match, you have to play with a little bit of smarts to survive, a little bit of angling, a little bit of thinking ahead and moving your guns into the right position, because the key is going to be taking out red ships as quickly as possible, particularly destroyers. So secondaries come into play very, very handy here. Later on in the match, I'm going to try to switch to AP on the red battleships, but I'm going to start off with high explosive just because of those two destroyers. I don't want to take a full broadside of torpedoes too early in the match, because that usually spells bad news and a short game. Moving into the arena zone here, we're going to do our best to track down the destroyers first thing and shoot at them. It's usually a little bit difficult to do with the dispersion on the mains. It can be a little bit tricky, and RNG can play a heavy role. You don't want to get too close to the destroyers because you can't dodge torps super effectively if you're too close in. But at the same time, the guns are not very accurate if you're too far out. And as you're going to see here, I'm just going to whiffle on the shot and not really do any damage at all, and which is unfortunate. Luckily though, because of our equipment, because of our consumables, we have a pretty decent reload of 16.9 seconds, which means that if we miss a shot, it's not as critical as it would be with a longer reload. We can reload fast enough to hit the next target. Right here we're going to see some of the greatest strengths of the Mikasa, finishing off ships. Now this guy here is quite low, but with the high damage rolls on the HE, she can really kill things off quickly, and here the secondaries are just fantastic. We take out what's left of this destroyer very quickly, very easily, and this is really the strength. Close-in brawling. She's a fun ship if you're fighting in close, as long as you've got good situational awareness and know how to think a little bit ahead in terms of where your guns are going to be placed relative to incoming red ships. You do quite fine. And here we'll take down another red ship relatively quickly. She's about a little bit less than half health. Of course, we've got teammates working on her as well, but a couple of our secondaries, one of our mains again, and boom, gone. So again, she's a joy to use in close in arena style matches. It's one of the funner ships at low tier, which brings us to the whole reason to really, if you're considering buying a Mikasa, it's not going to be earning credits, it's not going to be to win a huge amount of games, because Because of her speed, you just can't be everywhere at once, so you are going to take some losses due to points. You are going to take losses due to just not being able to support the team at all quarters of the map, as the team tends to scatter. But what she's really good at is providing fun. Getting in there, mixing it up, brawling, close-in situational awareness, practicing when you need a little bit of work on when you're going to be in a melee with ships all around you shooting at you. She's a great ship to just practice and work on those skills. And she's unique. She's different. She's a Tier 2 battleship. As of right now, the only Tier 2 battleship in the game. And it's a unique playstyle that's different than any other ship at her tier, and she plays a little bit differently than the other battleships in the game as well. She's got a good history. The ship actually still exists at a naval museum in Japan, so that's cool too for the naval history buffs and that. So there's a lot of reasons to get this ship. Winning games reliably. I mean, I'm over 60%. I think I'm around 65% with this ship, which is not bad. Playing solo almost all the time with it. She would carry well as part of a combo with a faster ship. So in that sense, she may be a good SEAL clubber that way. But I think that the real reason to get this ship is just the uniqueness. She's different. I get bored playing the same style of ship each and every time. I can't keep interest in any game where things are always the same. In World of Tanks Blitz and World of Tanks console, I have a lot of different tanks because I like the different play styles. They keep me interested in the game. It's the same thing here. I tend to buy all the premium ships because I like to have the variety at hand. So if I feel like playing something different, I can jump into a ship like the Mikasa and have a good time. But she's not for everybody. I think for people who are just looking for fast, furious type action, definitely stay away from this ship. For anybody looking for a solid playing ship that you have to think a little bit to get the most from, and that the play style will just appeal for its difference from some of the other ships out there, you should really strongly look at this ship. So I'm going to leave you here with another battle as top tier, standard battle, so 2 caps, opposite cap and green cap, and I'm going to show you the play style of hanging back, going middle, but staying close enough to cap to support and make sure nobody can win on points. Red ships tend to come to us in this current meta. When we have more human players, things might change up a little bit, but for the most part, at the moment, players will tend to come to you. Sides will clash in the middle to one side or the other, which is great for the Mikasa. This battle here was a win, and it's a Kraken game. I do get a lot of kills in the ship, so Krakens are somewhat common with her. Again, it's the nature of the high damage rolls off the HE, especially in the later part of the game. A lot of ships are down to 1400, 700 damage, which is right in range of half a salvo of your mains, so it's really easy to rack up kills in the ship. Again, you don't want to be stealing or ruining anybody's 7 or 6 kill game or anything like that, but at the same time, with the bot teams we have, just get kills, get points, get your medals to get new aliases, and that's part of the game. It's a fun thing to do, so it's very satisfying as well. If you've had a stressful day, just jumping into the Mikasa and getting a whole bunch of kills at the lower tiers, it's great stress relief. So I'll leave you now. Rest of the game, no more voiceover. Probably tired of hearing me at this point. I'm tired of hearing me at this point. So I'll leave you to the rest of this battle. If you've continued watching up to this point, then you're probably interested in picking up the Mikasa. So use this battle as an example. This is not a rare occurrence, this type of battle. It's average to slightly above average in terms of the number of kills in this game. So it gives you a rough idea of how this ship plays. And I hope that you've enjoyed the video and my rambling. I'm trying to work family life as well as put these videos together at the same time. I don't have a ton of time to do this, and I'm usually doing things like this at late at night. Right now it's after midnight. I'm tired. I've worked 9 hours today. Had the kids in my hair after I got home, so I'm just a little bit loopy, which is okay. And decided to put this video together with some voiceover, and hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to sign off for now and catch you guys shortly. I'm working on a couple more tutorial videos as well as a couple more review videos that should be done in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for those. Cheers.
Our team is about to win. The ship is on fire. Nice shot. Ship destroyed.